I wonder if you ever saw The Lion King, Disney's The Lion King. I saw it in 1994. I saw it multiple times because my kids loved it, and we bought it on video after that. And then later on, it came out in CGI, computer-generated graphics or video, and that was in, I think it was 2019, and saw it again, and maybe saw it again after that. And then we saw it on Broadway, and we saw it in musicals and other places. And I just love that show. I just think it's awesome. And part of what I love about it is this idea that there is a king, the Lion King, Mufasa, and I don't love this part, but he is killed by his brother Scar, and then his lion cub ends up running away. His lion cub is Simba, and he ends up running away in fear, and he grows up then far away from the Pride Lands, and he forgets who he is. He forgets who he is. And the Pride Lands needed him. He forgets who he is. And so at a certain point in the film, he says this vision of Mufasa, his father, who says, remember who you are. And in the end, he's a child of a king, which means he's become the king now that the king is gone. And remember who you are. I love that. And part of what I love about it is it speaks to us at a really deep level, because as human beings, we all sometimes, like Simba, forget who we are. We forget who we are, who we're made to be. And so there's a reason, there's a need for us from time to time to go back and remember, who am I really? And why am I here? And what's the meaning of my life? We talk about this in terms of purpose. What is the purpose of my life? Now, some people don't care about that. Some people don't think about that. But most human beings come to a place, an existential crisis, if you will, where they begin to wonder, what is the meaning of life? And what is the meaning of my life? And is there any purpose to my life? And if you are a person of faith, you go back to the scriptures and you begin to ask, what is God's purpose for my life? Why am I here? What does God want to do through me? What is the meaning of life? And just to remind you that Jesus summarized the commandments in the Hebrew Bible or the Old Testament by saying this: you are to love the Lord your God. Well, actually, this is how it's said in Deuteronomy: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and strength. One of the Gospels adds mind to that. And then he says the second great commandment is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, these are really important commandments, and everything else we find in the scriptures in some way falls underneath these headings. Of course, there's more to God's purpose for our life, but they somehow come under that. So we're to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and Jesus came embodying God, and so we follow him, and we love him, and we seek to honor him as we seek to honor and love God. We know that we're to love our neighbors, we love ourselves, but that looks like a whole lot of other stuff too. I mean, there's a whole lot counted, underneath that. And so this drives us, if we recognize this is God's purpose for our life. You were made to love God. You were made to worship God. You were made to honor God. You were made to live your life in a way that's pleasing to God. You were created to take care of the world that God has created, right? And part of that is and really it's sort of captured by the idea of loving your neighbor as you love yourself. The word love there is not a warm, fuzzy feeling. It is a dogged determination to do what's best for other people, to bless them, to bring healing to them, to care for them. This is God's purpose for our life, to love him with everything that we are, to love our neighbor as we love ourselves.